The bargain at Dock 9. The rain hit the metal floor of Dock 9 like falling nails. Cold wind moved through the quiet cargo yard. It was late, and most workers had gone. Only a few broken lights flickered in the shadows. Commander Ryle Hart walked alone. His coat was wet. His boots made heavy sounds on the floor. He didn't like this place. It reminded him of too many things: loss, war, pain. But he had orders to finish a supply run, so here he was. As he passed a rusted container, he heard something, a whisper. "Please, take me. I won't fight." He stopped. A young alien woman stood near the wall, almost hidden in shadow. Her skin was pale blue, glowing faintly under the lights. She wore torn cloth around her shoulders. Her hair was wet and messy. She had no shoes. Her eyes were large, full of fear, hunger, and something else. Something broken. Ryle slowly reached for the sidearm on his belt. "I'm not here to hurt you," the woman said quickly, raising her hands. She stepped forward. Rain rolled down her face, mixing with tears. "My name is Serani," she said softly. "I have nothing. No food. Number. Credits. No home. I can't go back to the camps." She looked into his eyes. "My body is all I have left. Take it. Just please don't throw me back out." Ryle stood still. His face didn't change, but his chest tightened. This wasn't the first time someone had offered something like this. War had left too many like her: refugees, survivors, orphans of dead planets. Some sold themselves. Some were taken by force. Most disappeared without a name. But Serani looked different. She didn't want pleasure. She wanted safety. She didn't offer desire. She offered surrender, and that made it worse. "You think I'm that kind of man?" Ryle asked quietly. Serani didn't answer. She only lowered her head. Ryle took off his coat and put it over her shoulders. She flinched at first, but didn't stop him. The coat was warm and heavy. She wrapped it around herself like it was the first soft thing she'd touched in years. He reached into his pocket and gave her a ration bar. She stared at it like it was gold. "You're not property," Ryle said, "but everyone else thinks." "I am," she whispered. He looked around. No one was watching, but cameras were always there. Eyes from higher places. Rules, laws, patrol bots. He was already breaking protocol. He didn't care. "I'm taking you out of here," he said. Her eyes widened. "You believe me?" "No, but I don't need to." He started walking. After a second, she followed Dot as they walked through Dock 9. 2 station guards stepped out from behind a wall. "Commander," one said, "taking a walk with your new companion?" The other laughed. "She's not registered, you know. Refugees need chips." Ryle didn't stop walking. "She's under my protection," he said. The first guard narrowed his eyes. "You know that's against protocol." Ryle turned to face him. "Then write the report." He walked past them, Serani close behind. Inside the station's inner ring, the lights were brighter. The air was cleaner. Serani looked around, unsure. This place felt unreal to her. So clean, so quiet. They reached Ryle's room, small, private, with a bunk and a locked cabinet. He opened the door, and Serani stepped in like she was entering a palace. He handed her a towel and pointed to the small washroom. "Clean up. I'll get you something warm." She nodded and went inside. Ryle opened his drawer. Inside were medals, data chips, and a sealed metal case. He touched the case for a moment, then closed the drawer again. When Serani came out, she was wrapped in a dry shirt and blanket. Her face looked softer now. Less fear, more confusion. "Why are you helping me?" she asked. "Because no one else did," he said. She sat on the edge of the bed and looked down. "I thought I'd have to trade my body again." "That's what always happens. You gave me food, and a bed. You're not here to pay me back. But I don't understand. Why? Ryle looked at her and spoke slowly. Because you're not just a body. You're a person. That's all that matters. Silence filled the room. Then, softly, Sarani whispered, "No one ever said that to me before." Ryle leaned back in the chair, staring at the ceiling dot outside. The rain still fell on Dock 9 dot, but inside, for the first time in years, Sarani felt safe, even if only for tonight. Asterisk the law of the broken. The next morning, Sarani woke slowly. The bed was soft. The blanket still held warmth. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then she saw the room clean, simple, human, and remembered. She sat up quickly, afraid it had been a dream. But the door was still locked from inside. Her wet clothes from last night were folded on a chair. A fresh ration bar lay beside them. She touched her cheek. No bruises, no marks. No hands had taken from her dot. It was real. Ryle stood near the window, drinking something hot. His jacket hung beside the wall. His boots were by the door. He had. Tired face, strong but sad. Like he had seen too many things and didn't talk about them. She whispered, "Thank you." Again, Ryle nodded once. You hungry, she was? More than hungry. Her body screamed for food. But her mind whispered, "Be careful. Too much kindness means danger later." Still, she ate. He said nothing, just watched. After a while, she asked softly, "Will you turn me in?" "To who?" he replied. "The Registration Council. Refugee handlers. Anyone. No, but I'm not legal. I have no chip, no file. I'm invisible." He finished his drink and set it down. "You're not invisible to me." Before she could reply, the comm system beeped. A voice spoke. "Commander Hart, report to Section 12, immediate." Ryle frowned. "Stay inside. Don't open the door for anyone." Then he left. Sarani was alone. She looked around the room. Nothing was locked except one drawer. She didn't touch it. Instead, she walked to the mirror. Her face looked older than it should. Her eyes too tired for her age. She hadn't seen herself clearly in months. She whispered, "Who am I now?" The mirror didn't answer Dot in Section 12. 2 officers stood near the wall when Ryle arrived. One was Commander Jeck's station security. Tall, sharp, always watching. "You brought in an unmarked alien last night," Jeck said without greeting. "I brought in a person who is freezing to death," Ryle replied. "She's not registered. That's against code. I didn't ask her for her ID while she was collapsing." The second officer, younger, added, "People talk, Hart. They said she offered herself to you. You planning to keep her as a pet?" Ryle's eyes went cold. He stepped forward slowly until he stood close to the younger officer. "If you ever say that again, I will forget my rank." The room went silent. Jex raised a hand. "Relax. Look, I'm not your enemy, but rules are rules. If someone reports, her command will investigate." Ryle spoke flatly. "Then no one better report her." He turned and walked out, back in his room. Sarani sat by the bed, hugging her knees. She had locked the door like he said, but fear still crept in. When he returned, she ran to him. "Someone came?" he asked quickly. "No, I just thought maybe you left for good." "I don't leave." "People," he said quietly. She looked up at him. "They'll punish you for keeping me. Why take the risk?" He sat down, his back stiff. "I've seen the law," he said. "I've watched it break people instead of protect them. It's not law anymore. It's fear." He opened the locked drawer. Inside was a badge, not military, not standard. It said, "War Crimes Witness Division." Earth Justice Sarani stared at it. "You were one of them?" "I saw what they did to your people," Ryle said. "I saw The auctions, the burning ships, the children in cages. I recorded it all, but the files were sealed. And now? Now I carry the shame with me. And when I saw you last night, I couldn't walk away. Tears welled in her eyes. You don't even know me. I don't need to. I know what they turned you into. Silence. She sat beside him. I don't want to be afraid anymore, she whispered. Then don't be. She looked at him. Can I stay? Just one more night. You can stay as long as you need. This time, when she leaned her head on his shoulder, he didn't move away. And for the first time in a long, dark life, Sarani began to believe something. Maybe. Not all humans took. Some gave. Asterisk. Her name wasn't worth remembering. The lights were dim in Ryle's room. Outside, station alarms echoed far away, just background noise now. Inside, everything felt still. Sarani sat at the edge of the bed. A blanket covered her shoulders. Her hands shook slightly as she held a hot cup of tea. Her eyes stared at the floor, quiet, distant. Ryle leaned against the far wall. He didn't rush her. He knew silence could say more than words. Finally, she spoke. I don't remember the last time someone said my name. Ryle glanced at her. Then say it now. She shook her head. It doesn't matter. That name belonged to someone else. Someone who had a family, a home, a world. He took a slow breath. But that girl is still here. Sarani looked up. Her eyes were wet, but she wasn't crying. They called us Whisperborn, she said. We could feel others read their hearts. It was a gift. But the galaxy turned it into a weapon. She paused. When the war came, they wanted us to choose sides. My people refused. So they hunted us, burned our cities, took our children. Ryle's jaw tightened. He didn't interrupt. They told me to forget who I was, to stop feeling. They said if I kept my gift, they'd rip it from me. She looked at him now, so I buried it. And I forgot everything. Ryle stepped forward and gently placed a hand on the table. You don't have to forget anymore. Her voice broke. But I'm not even whole. You're breathing. You're alive. That's enough. She stared at him for a long moment. Then softly she whispered, Sarani Veshlara. That was my full name. Ryle nodded. Sarani. When he said it, something changed in her face. It was like the sound touched a place inside her that had been locked for years. She smiled. Just a little. But it was real. Later that night, she wandered to the mirror again. Her reflection stared back thin, tired, but no longer empty. Ryle was writing something on a datapad behind her. She turned and asked, Do you always help strangers like this? He smirked faintly. Only the dangerous ones. She laughed, a soft, quiet laugh that surprised even herself. She walked to him slowly. You saved me, Commander Hart. He looked at her, serious. Don't call me that. Just Ryle. Okay, Ryle. There was a silence. Then she whispered, I want to give you something. His face shifted. Sarani? I don't mean my body, she said quickly. Not anymore. I want to give you my trust. He nodded. That's worth more than anything else. She reached into the pocket of her borrowed shirt and pulled out a tiny silver pendant, a symbol, curved like a moon cradling a tear. It was all she had left from her home. She placed it in his hand. My father gave this to me when I was a child. I don't know why I kept it all these years, but now, I think, maybe it waited for someone like you. Ryle closed his fingers. Around it, I'll protect it, he said. Suddenly, the room lights flickered. The station hum grew louder. A hidden alert pinged on Ryle's datapad. He picked it up, and his eyes narrowed. Sarani stepped closer. What is it? He read the message aloud. Whisperborn signature detected. Classified asset alert. Eliminate on sight. His voice was quiet, cold. "They found you." Sarani's hands trembled. Her breath hitched. "But how?" Ryle's eyes burned with focus now. The soldier in him had returned. They must have tracked the pendant. Or your signature. Doesn't matter. He walked to the drawer and opened the sealed case again. This time he took out a sleek black pistol, a secure cum chip, and a hidden transponder beacon. Sarani backed away. "What are you going to do?" He looked at her with fire in his voice. "I'm going to make sure they never hurt you again." She wasn't supposed to matter. The bounty hunter came with a smile. He walked through the docking bay like he owned its long coat, heavy boots, and a metal eye that glowed red. His face was scarred, his teeth sharp, and on his belt hung a weapon. Older than war itself. The guards didn't stop him. His ID said, "Approved clearance, coalition recovery task." But Ryle knew what that really meant. Private hunter license to track and terminate escaped assets. Assets like Sarani. Inside Ryle's quarters, the lights were off. Sarani sat against the wall, hugging her knees. Her gift, it whispered. Danger. Like a storm was about to break. Ryle paced, his weapon holstered, his eyes locked on the datapad. "They're moving too fast," he said. No standard report. No questions. They're skipping protocol. She looked at him, afraid. "It's me, isn't it? They know what I am." He didn't answer. That was answer enough. Sarani stood. "I'll leave. I'll run." "They'll leave you alone if—" Ryle stepped in front of the door and blocked her path. "No." "Why?" she cried. "I'm not important." He leaned close, his voice low. "Are to me." Tears filled her eyes. "But I'm just one person." "That's always how it starts," Ryle said. "One person, one voice, one soul that refuses to disappear." The door buzzed. Someone was outside. Ryle grabbed his pistol. He moved to the side and tapped the security cam. The bounty hunter stood just outside, smiling like a wolf. His voice crackled through the speaker. "Commander Hart, heard you picked up a whisperborn. You know those are illegal, right?" Ryle didn't respond. "Don't worry, I'm not here to hurt you. Just hand over the girl. Nice and easy. You walk away. She disappears. No war. Number. Mess." Inside, Sarani's body trembled. "I don't want to go," she whispered. "Please, don't send me back." Ryle touched her hand gently. "You're not going anywhere." The door blew open. The bounty hunter didn't wait. He threw a sonic charge that cracked the wall and stormed inside. Gun raised. Ryle fired first 2 shots, clean and fast. The hunter rolled, dodged, and fired back. The room exploded in chaos. Sarani dove behind the bed as sparks flew. Ryle took a hit to the shoulder, but didn't stop. He rushed forward, slammed the hunter against the wall, and they crashed to the floor. Fists and steel flying. The hunter was stronger, but Ryle was faster. Until the hunter grabbed Sarani. He held her up like a shield, one hand tight on her neck. "She's not worth your life, soldier," he growled. "Give her to me." Sarani gasped, her breath fading. Her heart raced. And then she stopped struggling. She looked the hunter in the eye and reached inside with her mind. Her gift. Awakened. Suddenly, the hunter froze. His body went stiff. His grip loosened. His mouth opened, but no words came out. Sarani's eyes glowed. Faint blue. She whispered, "Feel what you made me feel." The hunter dropped to his knees. He saw every moment of her pain, every cage, every scream, every lost sister, every night she begged not to wake up. He felt it all inside his bones. And he cried. Then he collapsed. Ryle rushed forward and held Sarani as she fell into his arms. She was shaking, her body weak, her energy drained. He laid her on the bed, held her hand, and whispered, "It's..." Over. But she looked up, eyes full of sadness. No, it's just starting. The weapon of the heart. The bounty hunter didn't move. His body lay still on the floor, breathing but broken, his mind trapped in the storm Sarani had released. Ryle stood beside the bed, watching over her. Sarani's face was pale, her breath weak, but her gift had not faded. Her eyes still shimmered like soft starlight. She didn't kill him. Ryle whispered to himself. She could have, but she didn't. He cleaned the wound on his shoulder with quiet hands. Blood stained his sleeve, but the pain didn't matter. What mattered now was what he'd seen, what Sarani was capable of. She didn't use fire. She didn't lift weapons. She used emotion, and it had nearly destroyed a trained killer in seconds. And now others would know. The next morning, Sarani opened her eyes slowly. Her head pounded. What happened? She whispered. You saved us, Ryle said. You stopped him. Her hands trembled. I didn't mean to reach that deep. I just wanted to survive. You did more than survive, he said. You showed mercy. She looked away. I felt his fear. I felt his anger, but I also felt a boy. Lost inside. A boy who used to be kind. Ryle nodded. That's your power, isn't it? Feeling what others hide? Yes. All Whisperborn are born with it, but I'm different. I was trained before the war. She sat up and looked at him. They called me Heart Echo. I could not just read emotions, I could return them. Ryle's eyes narrowed. Return? I can take what someone gives me. Pain, hate, joy, and reflect it back like a mirror. Stronger, clearer, sharper. And the council feared you for that. Sarani nodded. They tried to weaponize me. Make me their secret voice. One whisper from me, and a general could forget why he marched. One touch, and a soldier could lay down his gun. Ryle stood up and paced the room. That's why they erased your people. Not because you were weak, but because you were too strong and didn't want to fight. She looked down. We wanted peace, so they called us dangerous. A soft beep echoed from Ryle's secure device. His heart sank. He read the encrypted message. Subject confirmed. Whisperborn classified as Omega-level threat. Terminate or detain immediately. Order signed by High Command. He stared at it, then crushed the device under his boot. Sarani asked quietly, They're coming. Ryle nodded. We don't have much time. He opened a hidden panel in the wall. Inside was a small stealth beacon, a one-person emergency escape pod locator. Illegal, old Earth tech. But fast. I have a contact, Ryle said. She owes me a favor. She can get us out. Us? You think I'm letting you go alone? He said. Her lips trembled. You'll be hunted too. I already am, he said. And I'd rather be hunted for protecting you than honored for giving you up. Sarani blinked back tears. Why, Ryle? He paused, then stepped closer. Because all my life, I've followed orders. I watched innocent people die. I stayed silent when I should have spoken. He touched the silver pendant she gave him, the only thing she had left from her past. But with you, I get to do something right. That night, they hid in the maintenance. Tunnels beneath the station. Rusted pipes, flickering lights, old echoes from before the war. Ryle had slept here before during his worst days. Now, he walked beside Sarani. A quiet protector dot at the far end of the tunnel. A small ship waited. Black, no lights. No ID tags. The hatch opened. A woman with cybernetic eyes stepped out. Took you long enough. Heart, she said. I don't break promises, he replied. She looked at Sarani, paused, and nodded. You'll get one shot at this. Earth's sanctuary moon is the only safe place. After this, you vanish. Sarani stepped forward slowly, afraid. The woman whispered to Ryle, "That girl, she's not just rare. She's history. She's hope." Ryle looked back at Sarani. "No," he said. "She's more than hope. She's the weapon they never understood." As the ship rose from the station and disappeared into the stars, alarms began to ring behind them. The hunt had begun. But this time? So had the fight for something bigger, not just survival, but truth and freedom. Asterisk. She gave herself, and he gave her back her future. The ship landed in silence. No alarms. No soldiers. Just cold wind and silver light over the hills of Earth's sanctuary. Moon, a place where hunted ones could finally breathe. Ryle stepped out first. The ground was soft beneath his boots. Trees moved in the distance, and above them, stars shone brighter than he remembered. Sarani followed, her bare feet touching real soil for the first time in years. She stood still, listened. No shouting. No cages, no chains. Just air, sky, life. Peace. She looked at Ryle. "Is this real?" she asked. He smiled gently. "It is now." They walked toward a large white dome, a tribunal center built for truth, not punishment. It was run by Earth's Ethics Council, not the military. Inside, people from all species gathered. No guards, only quiet observers, waiting to listen. Ryle stood before the council, calm but firm. He didn't beg. He didn't lie. He told the truth. "I protected Sarani Veshlara, a Whisperborn," he said. "She didn't attack. She didn't run. She didn't use her gift to harm anyone until someone tried to take her again." A counselor asked, "Why break Earth law for a single alien?" Ryle answered, "Because if we let kindness become a crime, we've already lost everything we claim to protect." Murmurs spread across the room. Then Sarani stepped forward. She didn't shake. She didn't hide. Her voice was soft, but it carried far. "I was taught to give my body, to obey, to survive by offering myself to men like him." She pointed at Ryle. "But he didn't take me. He gave me back my voice, my name, myself." She looked at the council. "Is that what you fear? That a Whisperborn could still love after what was done to her?" One counselor whispered, "She's not dangerous. She's healing." Another stood, "I vote asylum, full protection." And slowly, one by one, they all agreed. Outside, the wind picked up. A warm breeze flowed through the trees, as if the moon itself had waited years to welcome her. Sarani turned to Ryle. "I don't have anything left," she said. He smiled and shook his head. "Yes, you do." She blinked. "What?" "You have a future now. And you don't have to give anything in return." But Sarani stepped close. "I want to give you something not from fear, not from pain." She reached out and touched his chest. "My body once belonged to my captors, but my soul... that's mine." She placed her forehead gently against his. "And I give that to you. Because I choose to. Because I'm free." They stood together in the quiet wind. No war. No chains. No bargain. Only two people who had lost everything and somehow found each other. And somewhere deep across the stars, the galaxy began to whisper. The Whisperborn are not gone. They are rising. And this time, they are not alone.